Hi everyone, Darren Weatherall here checking in for yet another edition of our vlogs. Thank you as always for joining. The idea of these videos is to give you some tools, some tactics and strategies in order to help you improve your game and enjoy the process a little bit more along the way. So today's video is about how to manage ourselves on the golf course when we are feeling a bit anxious and we need some sort of a set process to go back to. So we've all been there, we're standing on the 18th tee, the out of bounds is on the right, the water's on the left, we're shooting our best round so far, and all of a sudden we feel our stomach grab a hold of us and we feel our heart rate starts to race, we feel the palms start to get a bit sweaty. Okay, so what we need is some sort of set process in order to go back to. So I'm going to give you three sort of really nice simple tips in order to help you manage that anxiety and to play some better golf under pressure. So I'll start out a quick story. So I used to play a little bit with John Senden back when I was on tour. Obviously a hell of a great golfer and a hell of a nice guy as well too. Won the Australian Open, he's won multiple PGA Tour events. And the one thing he said to me, he said, Darren, you've only got to do two things when you're under pressure. You need to be able to control your emotions, you need to be able to control your concentration. So if you're able to manage those two things, you're going to shoot a lot better scores and you're going to be able to perform at what you know you're capable of, the level you know you're capable of performing at. So as far as understanding how to control our emotions, so first tip number one, have a set breathing process that you can go back to. Now, in one of my earlier videos, I spoke about Headspace, which is a great way in order to start to train yourself to recognize your emotions, to recognize how then the breath can influence them and how to bring your emotional state down. So I'd say that's tip number one, is to make sure that you have a set process of breathing that you go back to. Tip number two, what I would say is then have a set pre-shot routine that you go to. There's nothing worse than standing there, and feeling like, okay, I'm ready to go, I can play this shot. And then all of a sudden you get over the golf ball and you start to freeze, okay? And we start to take too long when we're over the golf ball. So that's step number two, is make sure you have a set routine which has a process to it and you know when you need to pull the trigger when you're over the golf ball. We want to get that pre-shot routine so good that it's just automated. You don't even think about it, you just go through the process and all of a sudden, bang, I'm there and I hit the golf shot. And that takes practice. You've got to do that a lot of times in order for it to become automated, particularly under pressure. Tip number three, put it in perspective. So golf, we tend to think the next shot is the next biggest shot of our golfing career or our golfing life. Put it into a little bit of perspective. Say, okay, I recognize this is one shot of many and this is a process, this is development that I'm doing and I'm committing to being a better golfer, not forcing myself to have to play my best golf today, understanding that there is a big path happening, I'm working on it, I will get better as a golfer. Sometimes I can alleviate the pressure a little bit and say, this is one shot of many and I'm going to try to enjoy it as best as I possibly can. And then I'll also just a little segue to let you know that I will be off the grid for the next couple of weeks. I am attending a silent retreat where I won't be able to talk or use my phone or use a computer. Some people think that's a good thing, that I won't be able to annoy them anymore, but I'm looking forward to it. So it's a challenge this year that I set myself, that I wanted to go and do a silent retreat. So if I don't reply to you, you will know that the reason is that I'm not allowed to, so I apologise for that. Feel free to get in contact with the guys at Victoria Park if you'd like to book a lesson. Anything else, it can wait until I'm back. So I wish you all the best with your golf. I'll check in obviously once I'm back on the grid. If you have any questions, feel free to contact me. And as always, thank you for joining and happy golfing.